Today, we are going to examine the CSEC English A paper 2, and I'm going to give you an idea as to what paper 2 is all about. This first video is just going to examine the various aspects of the paper, and in the next video I'm going to tell you exactly how to go about exploring and answering the various questions. Paper 2 of this exam is the summary. So there are 4 sections A, B, C and D. Section A is always a summary. You are given a passage and you are asked to prepare 5 points that give you an idea as to what that passage is all about. And then after you have written your 5 main points, you are asked to write a summary of 120 words. In this CSEC paper, you are given some space to write your notes, and you are first going to write 5 main points that were discussed in that summary. After you have written your 5 main points, then you are required to write your summary. There is a specific part of the paper that asks you to write the summary. So in writing the summary, you are going to use your 5 main points. You are going to rephrase as much as possible, and you are going to include other main points that were discussed in the summary to be able to produce a succinct, a very concise piece of 120 words. Section B of the CSEC paper is a situation. You are presented with any situation that will require you to write perhaps a letter. It may be a letter of complaint. It may be a letter of request. Or at times you may be asked to write an email. You may be asked to write a memo. You may be asked to write a simple report. And of course, you would know that the simple report is usually in the form of a letter as well. So these are the various aspects of Section B. Section B is worth 30 marks. Your summary, as I did not mention, is 25 marks. So Section A is 25 marks. Section B is 30 marks. The next aspect of the paper is Section C. This is what we refer to as the narrative or the short story. For this aspect of the paper, you are required to choose one question. For the first one, you are presented with a stimulus, and you are going to write a narrative based on this photo that you were given. At times, they may give you a statement and ask you to include this statement in your narrative. So you will decide exactly which narrative that you are going to use. Of course, there is always space for you to jot your ideas. And I must tell you as you prepare that a narrative is a bit different from an expository piece of writing. In your narrative, you will be required to have characters. You will, of course, need to select a point of view, whether you are writing in the first person point of view where you are involved in the story, or whether you want to write in the third person point of view and it is all about some other character or characters. So you must have some sort of characters, and you are going to engage in a beautiful setting as your story unfolds. It's not just a flat piece and you just tell me, if I look at this picture, if you realize that picture is on poverty, you're not just going to tell me that poverty is something that occurs worldwide. That's not a story. So it has to have a storyline with the various story elements. A setting, obviously a problem or conflict, a definite climax, and of course your resolution when you are writing your story. We move on to the next aspect of the paper, which is the final section, section D, which is 25 marks, just as your story. Section D is compulsory. In saying so, I would like you to know that there is only one question presented. There aren't any options in section D. It is an argumentative essay, and of course, you need to write your essay in such a way that you are going to persuade your audience. It is not a story. I usually tell students that you can develop 3 main points to explore in your argumentative essay, whatever that essay is all about. There are times when you are asked to present your views on a specific topic. I tell students, your views may be that you have taken one stance and you explore that particular stance. You are not going to be on both sides and all over in the essay, exploring both sides, and you get lost. So as much as possible, you select a stance and you use your persuasive devices to capture exactly what you are trying to say. So this is basically what paper 2 is all about. Look out for my next video where I'm going to tell you how to tackle the various sections of the paper.